Are you looking for the best Sony camera for food photography? In this video we will look at some of the best Sony camera for food photography on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Sony A7R IV. I love everything about food, from how it looks to how it tastes. The cherry on top, as a photographer, I want to capture that beauty in my photographs. When my clients began to demand higher quality images, I realized it was time for an upgrade. After researching various options, I invested in the Sony A7R IV. After setting up a photo shoot with my favorite food stylist, we spent hours creating stunning dishes and arranging them in perfect compositions. Here is how I used my best Sony camera for food photography. Features: model, Sony A7R IV effective megapixel, 61MP image sensor, 35.7 by 23.8 mm, BSA CMOS sensor, ISO range, 100 to 32,000, expands to 50 to 102,800, shutter speeds, 1/8000 storage, SD/SDHC/SDXC LCD. 3.0-inch tilted screen dimension, 129 by 96 by 78 mm weight, 665G ISO/shutter speed. While exploring my capabilities with this camera, I finally found the best ISO and shutter settings. I kept my ISO as low as possible to avoid unwanted image noise. With the A7 IV's impressive dynamic range, I could have kept the ISO at 100 and still captured a wide range of tones. I settled on a shutter speed of 1/100th of a second, which was fast enough to capture the detail of the cake while also letting in just enough light for a warm effect. Aperture/depth of field: I was hired to shoot a decadent chocolate cake for a local bakery. I set up my tripod and lighting equipment and adjusted my aperture to f/5.6 to create a shallow depth of field. White balance/frame rate: my friend told me about its frame rate spec of up to 10 frames per second. I quickly adjusted the camera settings and began shooting at a higher frame rate, allowing me to capture every detail of the chef's movements easily. Why is this camera the best? The most impressive feature of the A7R IV is its dynamic range. With a range of up to 15 stops, I captured the bright highlights and deep shadows, creating a sense of depth and dimensionality that was previously impossible with my old cameras. Conclusion: thanks to the powerful combination of the A7R IV's high-resolution sensor, lightning-fast autofocus, impressive dynamic range, and my preciseness of ISO and shutter speed, I was able to create stunning food photography that captured the essence of my subject with every shot. At number 2. Sony A7 III. I started my journey as a food blogger and kept my eyes open for the best Sony camera for food photography. All the mouth-watering dishes needed something that could capture the colors, textures, and flavors of each dish with incredible detail. My current recipe for which I needed a good camera was a decadent chocolate lava cake. I carefully prepared the ingredients and plated the dessert before picking up my Sony A7 III to shoot. Once it was done, the pictures were terrific for the following reasons. Features: model, Sony A7 III effective megapixel, 24MP ISO range, 51,200, expandable up to 50 to 204,800 image sensor, 35.6 by 23.8 mm, X-mirror CMOS, shutter speeds, 1/8000 to 30-second storage, 27 MB of internal memory, SDHC and SDXC compatible, LCD, 7.5 cm, 3.0 type, TFT, dimension, 126.9 by 95.6 by 73.7 mm weight, 650G ISO/shutter speed. My shoot was in a low light setting. A higher ISO of 800 was perfect for this scenario. For the shutter speed, it will depend on the lighting conditions and whether you want to capture motion or freeze the action. If you're shooting handheld, you'll want to ensure your shutter speed is fast enough to avoid camera shake. My settings were a mix of videos and photos, so the shutter speed varied. Aperture/depth of field: the camera is compatible with a wide range of lenses, including Sony's E-mount lenses and lenses from other manufacturers that can be adapted to the E-mount. When shooting food photography, f/2.8 helped create a shallow field depth, allowing me to separate the food from the background and make it look blurred. White balance/frame rate: I set the white balance to auto and left the rest to the camera. The maximum frame rate of this camera is 10 frames per second. The in-body 5-axis image stabilizer came in when taking a handheld snap. Why is this camera the best? The full-frame sensor, which gives good picture quality and minimal noise even in low-light circumstances, is a primary attribute that makes it perfect for this photography. Conclusion: overall, this mirrorless camera performs well in various situations, from accurate autofocus to perfect stabilization. It gives you everything. So, the next time you want your dishes or ingredients to look the same as your eyes perceive, go for this camera. Advanced 24.2MP full-frame image sensor W/1.8x readout speed. Advanced 24.2MP back illuminated 35mm full-frame image sensor. Bluetooth yes, Bluetooth standard Ver 4.1, 2.4 GHz band. Compatible with Sony E-mount lenses. External flash compatibility. Sony Alpha system flash compatible with multi-interface shoe. Attach the shoe adapter for flash compatible with auto-lock accessory shoe. Battery life, movie, actual recording approximate 115 minutes, viewfinder, approximate 125 minutes, LCD monitor, SEPA standard, battery life, movie, continuous recording approximate 200 minutes, viewfinder, approximate 210 minutes, LCD monitor, SEPA standard, battery life, still images approximate 610 shots, viewfinder, approximate 710 shots, LCD monitor, SEPA standard, internal battery charge, yes, available with multi/micro USB terminal or USB Type-C terminal. At number 3. Sony A7 IV Camera. I remember the day my Sony A7 IV arrived. I couldn't have been more excited. I had wanted one for a while and finally got it. The best part is that it's perfect for food photography. The colors are so accurate, and the detail is incredible. I've been using it to take pictures of all my food creations, which have turned out great. If you're looking for an excellent camera for food photography, the A7 IV is the one to get. Features: model, Sony A7 IV effective megapixel, 61MP image sensor, 35.7 by 23.8 mm, BSA CMOS sensor, ISO range, 105-12000, expands to 50 to 204,800, shutter speeds, 1/8000 torage, SD/SDHC/SDXC LCD. 3.0-inch tilted screen dimension, 131 by 96 by 80 mm weight, 659G ISO/shutter speed. It has an ISO range of 100 to 51,200, which can be expanded to 50 to 204,800, with a peak e-shutter speed of 1/8000 second. The mechanical shutter is fixed at a speed of 1/250 second. In addition to a few changes, I used a high ISO and a quick shutter speed to capture the finest food shots. Aperture/depth of field, most Sony E-mount lenses feature an f/2.8 or higher maximum aperture. Because of the camera's excellent improvements, it is now feasible to capture delicious food shots thanks to its variable aperture. White balance/frame rate, it supports high-speed continuous shooting at up to 30 frames per second with an e-shutter and up to 10 frames per second with a mechanical shutter. This makes it ideal for capturing fast-paced actions like food ads. Why is this camera the best? Sony's autofocus technology works brilliantly. Its AI is Sony camera's most intelligent autofocus to date. The A7 IV has real-time tracking, which allows you to choose an item on the screen, then half-press the button to grasp on so that the focus follows it wherever it moves in the image. It's astonishing how well the focus tracks a moving object, especially in food videos. Conclusion: overall, this camera is the best Sony camera for food photography because of its excellent sensor and autofocus system. It's also very lightweight and easy to carry around, which makes it perfect for any photographer who needs to take pictures of food. At number 4. Sony Alpha A7 Camera. As a camera enthusiast, I couldn't resist the allure of the Sony Alpha A7, regarded as the best Sony camera for food photography. I decided to put its capabilities to the test by embarking on a foodie adventure around NYC. My first stop was a cozy cafe that makes the best croissants in town. As soon as I held the camera, I realized how perfectly it snuggled in my hand and was ready to capture the intricate details of my food. Features: Model: Sony Alpha A7 effective megapixel, 24.3 MP image sensor, 35.8 by 23.9 mm, BSA CMOS sensor, ISO range, 125,600, expands to 50 to 512,000, shutter speeds, 1/8000 storage, SD/SDHC/SDXC, memory stick Duo/Pro Duo/Pro HD Duo LCD, 3.0-inch tilted screen dimension, 127 by 94 by 48 mm weight, for 74G ISO/shutter speed. This mirrorless digital camera offers a wide range of ISO sensitivity from ISO 100 to 25,600, which can be expanded to ISO 50 to 51,200. In terms of shutter speed, the camera offers a shutter speed range from 30 seconds to 1/8000th of a second. While the maximum range isn't suitable for food photos, you can still capture other genres using this range. Aperture/depth of field: the camera features a customizable lens mount system that allows photographers to use a variety of lenses with different maximum aperture values. It even has a wider maximum aperture value of f/1.4 or wider, ideal for low-light photography, like when shooting in a dimly lit cafe. White balance/frame rate: whether you want to record a video or take stills, this camera is perfect for both. For still photography, the camera can shoot up to 5 frames per second continuously. The custom white balance mode allowed me to manually set the white balance based on a reference shot of a neutral-colored croissant with a beige-themed cafe in my photo. Why is this camera the best? Some of you might have other reasons to call it the best gear for food photography. For me, it stands out because of its full-frame sensor. It incorporates a 35mm full-frame sensor, more significant than the sensors found in many other digital cameras. This larger sensor size allows the camera to capture more light and detail, resulting in higher quality images. Conclusion: this camera is easy to use and portable because of its lightweight. Its color accuracy and stabilization are also perfect for making mouth-watering food reels. At number 5. Sony Alpha 6600. A food brand once hired me as a photographer. Being a newbie, I was excited and nervous at the same time. After I got the call, my hunt for the best camera started. It ended when I came across the Alpha 6600. Since the brand was about instant food mixes, I had to capture each ingredient accurately. For this job, a 6600 was perfect. Here's how I made the best out of this camera for food photography. Features: Model: Sony Alpha 6600 effective megapixel, 24.2 MP ISO range, 100 to 32,000, expandable to 102,400, image sensor, 23.5 by 15.6 mm, APS-C CMOS, shutter speeds, January 4000 storage, SD/SDHC/SDXC and memory stick Pro Duo LCD, 3-inch tilting LCD dimension, 120 by 67 by 69 mm weight, 503G/ISO/shutter speed. Although I recommend using a moderate ISO with this camera, increasing the limit to 500 does not affect video quality. A shutter speed of 1/1000s is ideal for capturing motion, but a slower shutter speed purposely blurs it. Aperture/depth of field: the base lens of the Sony A6600 has a maximum aperture of f/3.5, which is a typical aperture for shaky shots. Yet, a wide aperture is preferable for the best exposure if you're shooting in the dark or on a dim background. White balance/frame rate: shooting a food video or an advertisement isn't a one-step process. I explored it takes plenty of retakes to get that one shot right. It means you must experiment with different backgrounds and lighting and decide which is perfect. The camera has an auto white balance option and a preset white balance setting to assist you with this issue. These predefined color options complement the lighting in the surroundings. The continuous filming option allows you to capture video up to 11 frames per second for smooth videos. Why is this camera the best? The Sony Alpha 6600 is an excellent choice for anyone looking for a great camera for food photography. Its autofocus system is fast and accurate, making capturing stunning photos of your culinary creations easy. Conclusion: if you're looking for the best Sony camera for food photography, consider the Alpha A6600. This camera has many features that will help you capture fantastic food photos. At number 6. Sony Alpha 6000. My love for baking has been passed down to me by my mother. She has been a professional baker and runs her own small business. She wanted to upscale her business and shift online in this digital age. After discovering the perfect platform for maximum views, we decided to go for Instagram Reels. I helped her shoot photos and videos of her baking, including cakes and pastries, using my favorite Alpha 6000. The pictures and videos looked as mouth-watering as the desserts in reality. Features: model, Sony Alpha 6000 effective megapixel, 24.3 MP image sensor, APS-C, 23.50mm x 15.60mm, ISO range, 100 to 25,600 shutter speeds, January 4000 to 30 seconds LCD, 3.0-inch tilted screen storage, MS Pro Duo/SD/SDHC/SDXC dimension, 120 by 67 by 45mm weight, for 68G ISO/shutter speed. I love that it natively features an ISO range of 100 to 25,600 and an extended ISO range of 51,200. The shutter speed is adjustable from 30 seconds to 1/4000th of a second. The mechanical shutter operates at 1/160th of a second, while the electronic shutter operates at 1/250th aperture/depth of field. The widest aperture range of the camera is f/3.5-5.6. It demonstrates that this lens is well suited to all types of photography. When it's time to snap panorama shots, set your aperture, ISO, and shutter accordingly. White balance/frame rate. While shooting continuously in high-speed burst mode, it has a maximum frame rate of 11 frames per second. It has 8 frames per second in regular mode. I noted it also includes a live view mode, which lets you see the picture on the screen before taking the shot. Why is this camera the best? The Alpha 6000 is an excellent camera for food photography. It has a large sensor that captures a lot of detail, and the autofocus is swift and accurate. Additionally, the ability to review before clicking is an excellent option for newbies. I think it's the best camera Sony has made for this purpose. Conclusion: the Sony Alpha 6000 is an excellent camera for food photography. It has a high-resolution sensor that delivers stunning images and is very easy to use. Plus, it's affordable, which makes it an excellent option for budget-minded photographers. If you're looking for the best Sony camera for food photography, the Alpha 6000 is a perfect choice.